My name is Victoria Winters. I originally came to Collinwood hoping to solve the mystery of my past. But the mystery of the present has overshadowed that for the moment.
Hi.
Come on in.
Don't you believe in locking the door?
Sometimes I forget.
If I were in here alone, I'd lock it and put a chain on it and shove the dresser up against it, and I'd still be shaking.
I thought ghosts could come through anything.
You can laugh all you want to. You haven't lived in this house as long as I have.
I know. You know, it's funny. So much has happened here. It's very hard for me to realize I've only been here a short while. Has it always been like this?
No. It was always strange, the way my mother never goes anywhere. And sometimes you'll see people drive by and stop and stare at the haunted house, hoping to get a look at the witch and the witch's daughter. But things didn't really start to hum until Burke Devlin came back.
You were going to say until I arrived, weren't you?
Well, you arrived and he came back the same day.
True.
Vicky, had you ever met Burke before?
No. I met him at the Collinsport station for the first time. Actually, I saw him there, and I went up to him, and I asked him how to get a taxi to get into town. And he told me I should get back on the train and go home.
I'll bet you wish you had.
Nope. No matter what happens, I'm staying here until I find out what I came for.
How can you stand it? Vicky, you can leave any time you want to. I can't. And no matter what my mother says, or Matthew, or Uncle Roger, no matter what anybody else says, what we saw out there tonight was the body of a dead man.
What we saw did look like the body of a dead man.
Yes, it did.
But Matthew said he walked up and down the shore and there wasn't anything there.
But, Vicky, it could have been there and then been washed away again before Matthew went out to look.
He didn't seem to think so.
If the tide brought it in, then the tide could carry it out again.
I don't know anything about tides.
They're fierce along this coast. They come in very fast. But they go out just as fast.
Fast enough to carry a body away?
Sure. Especially down along this coast. That's why Mother would never let me swim here. Because of the tide and the undertow. She always said it was too dangerous.
Well, then that might be it. If it was a dead man we saw.
You just don't want to think it was, Vicky.
I guess I don't.
I wonder who he was.
Maybe we'll never know.
I'll bet we will. Somebody has to report him missing.
There's only one person I know of that's missing from Collinsport.
Well, he doesn't have to be from here. He could have been drowned way down the coast or fallen off a boat at sea.
But it could be.
No, it couldn't. You do think it was Mr. Malloy, don't you?
Carolyn, all I've heard for the past 24 hours is where's Bill Malloy?
I'd have known if it was.
We could hardly see the body, much less recognize it.
I still would have known. Bill Malloy is the closest thing to a father I ever had. It wasn't Bill. It couldn't have been.
Of course. You're right.
Well, I guess it'll just be one more ghost to add to our collection here.
Don't be so morbid.
Well, isn't that why ghosts haunt places? Because they're looking for something?
Carolyn, there's no such thing as a ghost.
You just wait until you've lived here a little bit longer. Then you'll change your... Did you hear that?
What?
I could have sworn I heard something.
Did you hear me, Pop?
What is it, Maggie?
Well, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. That's what it is.
Didn't know it was that late.
Well, why don't you go to bed?
For what? Toss and turn? It's no use, Maggie. I got too much on my mind.
Well, what's bugging you? Do you want to tell me about it?
Oh, I wouldn't want to worry you with my petty little problems.
It would be worse if you didn't.
All right, if you're so inquisitive. I'm worried about Bill Malloy.
He's a big fellow. He can take care of himself.
Normally, I'd say yes. But these aren't normal times. There are forces loose in Collinsport that frighten me to think of.
What forces?
Evil forces. You can smell it in the very atmosphere.
Bob, this is supposed to be the purest atmosphere in the country. Say, why do you think all those summer people come up here every year? It's to get away from the air pollution, that's why.
This pollution lies in the souls of men, not in the air.
I've never seen you so gloomy.
I've never had as much to be gloomy about before.
Is it money?
No, it isn't money.
Well, what then?
I told you. Bill Malloy. This man, he made an appointment with me and he never showed up. Begged me to meet him. Although I didn't want to, I went there. Went to meet him. He just never appeared.
Where was this?
At his office. Something must have happened to him to keep him from meeting me.
Pop, are you afraid for yourself?
No. Nothing can hurt me worse than what I've done to myself. Besides, I've got a safeguard against it. The letter I gave you to keep for me, you put it in a safe place?
The safest. Actually, it's in the safe at the hotel.
Good. I've let it known that such a letter exists. It won't be opened unless something happens to me.
Pop, what do you think could happen?
I don't know. Just like I don't know what happened to Bill Malloy.
I heard it again.
Oh, it must have been one of the shutters. The wind's come up.
There wasn't a shutter. I know the sound every single shutter in this house makes. There it is again.
Sounded like it came from the drawing room. Has your uncle come upstairs yet?
Yes, I heard Mother and Uncle Roger come up not long after we did.
Well, then it must have been David.
Where are you going? Don't unlock the door.
I'm going to catch a live little ghost. Sound asleep. Poor David, he gets blamed for everything that happens in this house.
That's usually right. It usually is David who's to blame. But if it wasn't David, then who was it?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to go into your mother's room or your Uncle Roger's room and ask them if they happen to knock over something downstairs.
Well, I can. If you go with me.
No. Carolyn, they already think we're hearing things, seeing things. Now they're going to think we're hearing them.
Vicki, we are hearing things. And we did see a dead man at the foot of Widow's Hill tonight. Nobody can convince me differently.
Well, you're going to have a hard time trying to convince somebody else.
Oh, I wish I'd never lost that wristwatch. Then we wouldn't have gone out looking for it and seen what we did.
What are you going to do when Joe sees you not wearing it?
Oh, he won't. I'll find it in the morning. Anyway, I'm not sure any birthday present is worth this.
I think it would have been to me. You see, I've never had a birthday.
You had to be born.
I don't know on what day. The foundling home gave me a birthday, but nobody knows if it's right. When you haven't had something, it becomes important.
You're not doing yourself any good just sitting here and worrying. Now, why don't you go to bed? You can rest even if you can't sleep.
Never mind me. You're the one with the job. You go to bed.
But what good's it doing you to sit out here and worry?
None.
Oh, Pop, you're just borrowing trouble. Now, you don't know if anything happened to Bill Malloy. He probably had to leave town for a few days. He'll be back.
Will he?
Well, of course.
Burke Devlin's a harsh man.
Burke? I like him. Besides, what does he have to do with Bill Malloy's disappearance?
Burke's not a one to forgive and forget.
But, Pop, you're holding something back from me. Remember the other day when you told me that you could see death staring you in the face? Was it his death?
I don't remember saying it.
Or your death?
If I did say it, I don't know what I meant by it. Believe me, I'm just so confused. I don't know what I do from one day to the next. Now, why don't you go on to bed, please? Collins?
Who is it? Hello? Hello? Who was it?
I don't know. He hung up. This is silly. I'm going in there to find out just what it is.
I know there are no such things as ghosts, but suppose there are.
Well, then I'll see something I've never seen before. Who's in here? Must have been the wind.
Look.
That's it.
Yes, it is. But who did it?
Well, it must have fallen off the table. I guess it couldn't have gotten all the way over here, though.
Not by itself. Now, do you believe what I was saying?
No. There has to be a logical explanation.
Yes.
Maybe a cat got in the window and knocked it off.
In all my life in this house, I have never seen a cat in here. Anyway, a cat couldn't get the book from that table to here. It's very heavy.
You're right.
So if it isn't a logical explanation, there's only one other possible explanation, and I don't even like to think about that one. Vicky, please, let's go back upstairs. I feel a lot safer there. At least we can lock the door.
Okay, Pop, let's stop kidding around. Now, what is it?
thought I told you to go back to bed.
Well, you did, but I'm not a child, so stop treating me like one. Now, I heard you on the telephone. You asked for somebody named Collins. Well, the only Collins I know is Roger Collins. Now, why did you call him?
It wasn't anything important. Well, he's been after me. He wants me to try to change my mind about doing the commission of Burke's portrait.
What does Roger Collins have to do with Burke's portrait?
He just doesn't want me to do it, that's all.
But why? Does he want to hire you on an exclusive basis for the Collins family?
No. No, he's only anxious that nothing keep Burke Devlin in Collinwood. He doesn't want anything to keep him here. Well, you know how long it takes to do a portrait. I haven't, the sittings and all, and I haven't done one in years, and, well, maybe he's just worried about that, that's all. See?
You're not a very good liar.
No, I'm not.
Pop, we used to trust each other and confide.
Yeah, that was before.
Before what?
Long time ago. Things were different then.
What changed them? Yesterday, Burke said that he wasn't going to pose, yet he was here. He was here to ask questions. Did he get all his answers? Pop, you've got to tell me.
If only that telephone hadn't rung, then we wouldn't have had to go down there.
What about the sound you heard?
I'd have been very happy to go on pretending it was a shutter banging somewhere. Say, you never did tell me who it was that called.
I did tell you, I don't know.
Well, did you recognize the voice?
No, it was kind of muffled, like a whisper. It just said Collins.
Uncle Roger.
I guess so. That's all he said, and then the phone went dead.
Do you think, could it possibly have been Bill Malloy?
That's what I've been trying to think, because I want it to be. But I think I would have known his voice.
If it had been Bill Malloy, he would have asked for Mother, and he wouldn't have hung up.
Hey, this sounds like the kind of thing that a drunk would do. Calling up from some bar and then forgetting why he was calling.
Did you hear music in the background?
No, dead silence.
That's the second time you've used that word. I wish you wouldn't.
All right, complete silence.
It couldn't have been Bill Malloy. He usually shouts a lot.
I know.
He shouts at Uncle Roger a lot.
He certainly was doing that last night.
Oh, don't let that scare you. He's a softy under those whiskers. He's really soft as far as Mother's concerned. I think he's always had a crush on her.
Why shouldn't he?
What I mean is, that's why it's so strange he hasn't called. It's not like him to do anything to hurt her or even to make her worry. He's really a very nice man.
You're not the only one that thinks that. Burke Devlin was here earlier today asking about him.
Why didn't you tell me Burke was here?
Because he came to see your uncle.
Well, as long as he didn't come just to see you.
No, he had a lot of other things on his mind. I think he's very anxious about Mr. Malloy.
Old chin whiskers. I wonder where he is right now.
Then where is Bill Malloy?
I wish I knew, Maggie. I wish he were right in this room. There's so many things I want to ask him.
Not nearly so many things as he wants to ask you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he practically put me through the 3rd degree yesterday.
What did he say?
Well, he seemed to think that you had some important information.
What did he say? What kind of information?
No, that's what I've been waiting for you to tell me.
Well, Maggie, I tried. Believe me, I tried. I wanted to tell it 1,000 times, but I can't. I just can't.
You can't say it. But you did write it down, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You wrote it in that letter that you gave me. Well, then I'm going to read that letter.
No. No, you'll not do it. I forbid it.
But it's addressed to me, isn't it?
That doesn't matter. It's my personal property, and you've no right to go prying into it.
If it'll get you out of the trouble that you're in, then I have every right in the world.
I want that letter. Where is it? You give it back to me so I can destroy it.
I told you it was in the safe at the hotel.
Then you get it tomorrow morning. An empty envelope is just as good as a letter. It'll do the same thing. Nobody will know that there's a letter in there that I've destroyed.
Isn't why you wrote it.
No. No, I wrote it so that if anything happened to me, it would at least be told.
What would? So help me, Pop. I'm just going to read it myself.
Maggie, swear to me you won't do that.
Pop, you're hurting me.
Swear to me on your mother's name.
I won't read it.
Swear.
I don't have to. I've never lied to you in my life, Pop. I've never broken a promise to you either.
Phyllis Diller stars in the zany comedy The Poets of Southampton, advance premiere tonight, in color on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.